is another quick video in the Unified Service Desk series of quick 3 or 4 minute videos. In this one, I just want to talk about hosted controls, which is one of a number of constructs in USD that are kind of similar to some software development terms. So from a software development side of things, when you're constructing something or architecting software, you might think in terms of objects, and those objects kind of flow over to the concept of a hosted control inside of USD. Kind of the building block inside of USD is a hosted control. You can also think of it as a page or a tab. Inside of USD, you'll see kind of different parts of the screen, and I've laid them out here by just kind of overlaying little panels or blocks over the top of a USD screen. So, for example, in the centermost section, you'll find the main panel. This is where most of the detail screens like CRM screens and web pages and so forth will be put into this main panel. For our work with In Contact, we've chosen to use the left-hand side flyout panel here, which is underneath the Session Explorer and the Workflow panel and so forth, all these different panes. You'll have a status panel at the bottom and a toolbar panel on the top. It's important to know the different areas of USD because as you're defining a hosted control, one of the steps is to decide what panel the hosted control is going to live in. So with those two pieces of information, I go into CRM and navigate over to the Unified Service Desk settings area. Under Unified Service Desk, you'll see the very top item lists hosted controls. So if we open this up, you'll see all the different hosted controls that are part of our baseline solution. For an example, let's take this first one called account. You'll notice that we've named it account. It could have been named customer or whatever you'd like. Account is just something that correlates with the CRM term that it belongs to. So we've given it a name of account. We've used replacement parameters here to show the account name on the tab. If I move this over just a little bit, you can see that on the tab of our session here and on the tab of inside the session, the panel that is loaded into the hosted control gets the name account.name. If I wanted to say some other text here, I would just replace it without the brackets. Next, you'll see that this is a CRM page that's a built-in construct, but there's a whole number of different things, a dialogue, CTI stuff, global manager, and so forth and so on. But in this example, it's a CRM page. Allow multiple means per session, there's going to only be one account page because this account actually is what signifies the session is unique from something else. In this case, it's not global, it's unique to the session. I'll show you an example of a global piece when I show you search in a second. And then it's displayed in the main panel. That was that center panel that I showed you on the USD interface. Just to get a comparison, and I'll then show you how these different hosted controls work inside of USD. So if I go back and look for the one called search, the difference will be it's just that it's still a CRM page, allow multiple no. This IE process is kind of the best practice for all the CRM pages. It's the successor to the WPF page. This is the newer one with better memory handling. So use it, but notice that this one is checked that the application is global, which means that just this hosted control is global. So now let me show you the difference in how global versus not global works. So if I close down all of my windows and start from a new search I'll get the multi-entity search bar. And if I type in some search parameters, I just clicked A, and I see a tab here, Alpine Ski House. Notice that the logic that I've used inside of USD is to close the search page and open the account page. And notice that there's only the one search and it's now hidden or gone. But if I do that option again and go research for something else and say this time I'm going to select a different account, notice that I have an account hosted control here that's inside of the hosted control. I have Blue Yonder Airlines, and inside of this one I have Alpine Ski House. So it's not global, it's session based. However, the search, each time I pull the search up, the search it's kind of across either session. It's the same search, there's only one instance of it, and this would be applicable to anything that you'd want, like global. If you had a global list of like to-do items, the search is a good example, good for global. Session-based stuff are, the accounts, contacts, or leads, and then anything related to each of those accounts, contacts, or leads, like opportunities or cases or whatnot, follow-up items, would be session-based. This was just a quick overview of hosted controls. Hosted controls are the kind of the foundation for USD. If you're going to add new pages, like a web page or something like that, the first step would be to create a hosted control. In the next sessions, I'm going to be talking about toolbars, action calls, and so forth, so stay tuned for more info.